A very good morning to you and welcome to the Morning Outlook. I'm Rachel Jones reporting live from Kalkine TV Sydney studios. Now, the Australian share market is expected to open lower this morning. According to the latest SPI futures, the ASX 200 is likely to open 1.9% lower. That's 135 points lower. At the closing bell yesterday, the S&P ASX 200 was almost 1% or 70 points higher at 7,183. Now, the best performing sector yesterday was materials. That was up 2.5%, whereas the worst performing sector was consumer staples, down almost 1%. The best performing stock yesterday was Champion Iron. Their shares closed 5.3% higher at $7.37. The worst performing stock was Polynovo, closing 4.6% lower at $1.24. Now, looking to some interesting news from this morning now, and Webjet has returned to profit in the second half of 2022, where the business saw a turnaround, delivering a profitable second half driven by web beds and Webjet OTA. So as revenues start to return, costs were materially lower than they were pre-pandemic, reflecting the significant efficiencies coming through, particularly in the web beds business. Financial year 2022 did see underlying EBITDA loss of $15 million, and that was reflected in a $103 million improvement compared to the 12 months to the 31st of March 2021. Web beds was profitable, driven by the North American and European markets. And Aristocrat Leisure has reported their financial results for the 6 months ending 31st of March, with net profit after tax jumping 46.5% to $530.7 million for the half year to the end of March, in what the company described as a period of record profits. Earnings before interest, tax, depreciation and amortization touched $970 million for the period, up by 30.1%. After excluding the impact of significant items, operating revenue climbed 23.1% to $2.7 billion. And Nufarm today announced a strong increase in its financial performance for the 6 months ending 31st March, with underlying earnings before interest, tax, depreciation and amortization of $330 million. That's an increase of 41% on the prior corresponding period, on a revenue of $2.2 billion, up 31%. Underlying net profit after tax was $133 million, an increase of 112% on the prior corresponding period. Now, the board declared an unfranked interim dividend of 4 cents per share, the first interim dividend the company has paid since 2018. Well, now it's time for a short break, but stay tuned for more news set to affect your trading day.
Tune in to stay updated while on the move.
We will tell you where the crypto craze has reached,
Where the property market is headed next.
what the world is doing to become more environmentally friendly.
Apart from tracking the daily market charter.
Be on top of the latest news and announcements
With Kalkine TV.
And welcome back to the Morning Outlook report. Now, global stocks fell as concerns about rising inflation on economic growth soured sentiment. The mood was underscored by a 9% surge in British consumer prices and a faster than expected acceleration in inflation in Canada. British inflation surged to its highest annual rate since 1982 as energy bills soared, while Canadian inflation rose to 6.8% last month, largely driven by rising food and shelter prices, Statistics Canada data showed. Over on Wall Street, the Dow Jones fell 3.6%, the S&P 500 fell 4%, and the Nasdaq ended 4.7% lower. It was the worst session for the Dow Jones since 2020. MSCI's gauge of stocks across the globe shed 2.74%, while in Europe, the Pan-European Stock 600 index closed down 1.14%. Oil prices fell as traders grew less worried about a supply crunch after government data showed US refiners ramped up their output. WTI crude settled down 2.5% at $109.59 a barrel. Brent settled at $109.11 a barrel, down 2.52% on the day. Gold prices were a little unchanged, and that's despite the risk of environment as looming US interest rate hikes and a resurgent dollar dimmed the metal shine. Spot gold was up 0.1% at $1,816 an ounce. Well, that's all for our morning Outlook report here on Kalkine TV. Have a great day trading and stay tuned for more market updates and economic news live throughout the day. This is Rachel signing off for now.